Okay, so this guy thought that the first time I talked to Jessica X was December 8th. Well, no, it was actually December 28th. Sorry, I think 2020. That was not. That time I did talk to her, yes, I admit that. I did try to pretend that I wasn't myself because I get attacked because I come from the divested side. This is the main reason I did not identify myself because the last time I did, people on Crystal Swirl's channel really hated me and almost blocked me and said that I was colorist and I was really hating on divested women or something, even though I didn't even mention them in this live stream. I'm talking to Jessica X for 3 hours. So here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys the live stream I'm talking about that I was on March 11th, 2020, where I spoke to Jessica X.
Right. So the only way that you can become a permanent starting player is if you compete. So anytime somebody says that they don't want to compete, that means that they want to get something for free. And we already know where that mentality gets black women when they don't want to compete. They become single mothers and they become undesirable women. True. True. No, that's facts, you know. Yeah. So we know the outcome of that mindset. Now, there was a time where a woman could cry and then men would fall in line. You know, these women would say, oh, but white supremacy, boo hoo, come take care of my kids. And, you know, men will fall for it. My father fell for that shit. You know? My father fell for that shit. That's why I have like a whole step family, you know, off of that shit. You know, so, you know, but today is not the day, and modern men are not going to fall for the shit like that. Right. Like, we're not going to go for your tears like, you know, oh, you know, racism. No, racism is over, dear. Yeah, but colorism. So give me some dick. No. You gotta earn it. Right. Action here. You know, I'm not gonna do it just because you feel oppressed. You know, like what in the fuck? Like what if I tried to do some shit like that? What if I tried to do some shit like that? You know, so Deanna, you know, I see your picture, so I'm gonna run this game on you. I'm gonna run some game from you. Some. This is not open game for all y'all. This is not how we roll, but I'm gonna roll this game on you. Tell me if it works. If so, I'm gonna try it. Like, hey, Deanna, love, you know, so I think you should know that no woman would fuck me because I'm a nerd, and there's a lot of nerdism going out around me. So, you know, you mind sucking my dick? So does that work?
Huh? Yeah. No. That doesn't make sense.
So you're a nerdist then. You're against nerds. You're one of these nerd haters, aren't you?
No. To me, honestly, how I feel about her... If you're not a nerd hater, then you should suck my dick.
You should suck my dick if you're not a nerd hater. That's how that works. Only a nerd hater wouldn't suck my dick.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. To me, I think like it, especially for her. What?
Go for it. No, I said that's what Rashida sounds like.
What you said it, like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I totally agree with that. To me, I kind of feel like she. Yeah, we're coming in on each other. Sorry. To me, it feels like with Rashida, she kind of like it's like wanting everybody to prefer her of like black men, and I feel like kind of like she needs to be like more on an equal setting. She says she wants things equal, but at the same time she wants to be the only ones people, you know, look towards because, you know, they have to feel sorry for her, and I kind of like think that's not really fair from my point of view.
So, how do you feel about the image that this is portraying of black women in general? Because basically, she's seeking sexual sympathy.
No, yeah, I don't like it because personally, like, my mother is dark skinned. I have had plenty of people, like friends, family, who are dark skinned, and they were told they were beautiful and things of that nature. And she kind of like talks about it as if it's like a disability or something that's bad in a negative view. So people are like almost like thinking of dark skin in an unwanted manner. And I don't really like that because, I mean, like, that's kind of offensive to everything that I've known.
Right, right. So it offends your mother and offends the other dark-skinned women in your family for her to say
Yeah,
that they are.
I've told her.
Right.
Yeah, I've told her several times too. Like, you know, it's pretty offensive. You know, acting like dark skin is less than light skin. You should be happy with your dark skin. You should feel like you're beautiful. You know, and you shouldn't act like it's like something that's negative or like people have told you that you're ugly because you're dark. I mean, maybe that was your experience, but from my experience, I've seen a lot of people who were dark skinned who were told that they were very beautiful. So to me, I'm like, I don't see it.
Well, do you think that the ugly thing is something that they tell each other more than black men tell them or anybody else tells them?
Honestly, from what I've experienced, it was always dark skinned women telling dark skinned men that. Like, they'd be like, he black. Against dark skinned men.
So, but.
Not really against women. They had an experience where dark skinned women were like unattractive or unattractive and dark. That's just weird.
So here's what happened, and here's where I think the problem comes from, and I don't think it's the men, and I blame my cousin for this shit, you know, but that's his family, so I'm not gonna tell him to check his fucking family. So like the Thanksgiving before last, I'm in Dallas, and over my dad's house, and my cousin was there, and his family, and my sister was there, and her daughter. My sister's, the father of her kids are Latin, so she has two daughters, both of them light, one lighter than the other. So my cousin's wife comes in, who's from the South, comes in, and she has daughters of her own, right? And she says to my nieces, you know, where's that pretty girl at? She was like, and she just kept playing in her hair and shit. I was like, God damn, don't you realize you have daughters of your own, like dark-skinned daughters of your own that you fucking up by doing shit like this? You was just like so happy and elated to see my niece, and you just like the shit was weird. It was like an awkward silence, like, you know, and I'm looking at my cousin like, hey, you don't see this shit? You don't see that this kind of fucked up?
Over. I think it's over with me speaking on that part. Actually, I am speaking right there.
To be honest.
Yeah, exactly. So they're trying to turn victimhood into sexual currency. I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna get to I think this is Great Britain.
To be honest.
Yeah, exactly. So they're trying to turn victimhood into sexual currency. I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna get to Thanks. I'm humbled, man. I appreciate it.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I seen your thing the other day too. So, did you see the women like Rashida Strober? I don't really think that it's coming from the men. So
I don't know. Like I said, to me, I've had plenty of experiences where I've had some experience, actually, now that I think of it, where people will speak poorly about themselves that were darker skinned.
Right.
Things like that. But it always seems like it's coming from them, but not like towards them, to me. Like, I've never seen a light-skinned woman attack a dark-skinned woman for being dark. That would be like, I think they get a lot of backlash if they did that, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. So they're trying to turn victimhood into sexual currency. I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna get to I think this is Great Britain, but I'm gonna say this before I get to him though, right quick, and that is yesterday, or really the day before. This happened a couple of days ago or a few days ago. She said now of being dark skinned and not on the basis of being homosexual. Am I correct?
No, I
Yeah,
wasn't
this is the
quite like
next
that. I'm
one.
okay with gay.
Hey, go ahead and make sure. Hey, game changer. I'm glad that you bringing this conversation to the forefront because you're a minority inside a minority. So, do you feel like physically intimidated because you're outnumbered? Is that what you're getting at, Deanna?
Yeah, whatever there was, you guys were saying about how light-skinned women are scared of dark-skinned women to talk about like the issues, concerning colorism and things of that nature. I kind of feel I don't have any fear, rather than it's just like I said, the authentic Black woman. The way I was raised and the way I grew up was kind of like they were kind of like the main thing. They're like the majority. So I mean, like usually, like having any issue or concern with them would kind of be dumb. They're the majority.
So have you found yourself in a situation growing up where you wanted to speak against the majority, and you didn't? You just felt like you shouldn't.
Like I said, the only issue I ever had, I told you about. That was the one situation where there was like this one person made up a whole story to try and get me out of the job because we had an issue with her being gay or whatever, and she tried to say it was because I was light skinned, that I didn't like her because she was dark skinned. Other than that, I've never had any issues really when it comes to these kind of issues. For me, it's only been like that time, and there were a lot of people, and I did try to speak out, but by the time I spoke out, it was too late because I didn't even see it coming.
So let me get this straight. There was a homosexual woman who's also dark skinned. She felt that she was being attacked by you, but on the basis of being dark skinned and not on the basis of being homosexual. Am I correct?
No, I wasn't quite like that. I'm okay with gay people. It was just the problem was we had a whole. It was an inappropriate thing she was saying something about her sexuality, and I didn't like that. And then she got offended, and then she went and said that I was racist towards her because she was darker and I'm lighter. The only time I've ever had a problem.
So no, that's interesting. That's a very interesting story because here's what I read from that. In the oppression Olympics, dark skinnedness outweighs sexual preference.
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting out of that. That's disturbing because, like, I don't know. It's weird because she's basically saying that she feels more comfortable being homosexual than she does being dark skinned, and that if somebody looking at her a certain way, if a straight, and I'm assuming that you're heterosexual, so if a heterosexual woman is if she feels oppressed by a heterosexual light-skinned woman, then she is assuming that it's on the basis of dark-skinnedness, not her sexuality. That's interesting. I have to.
Oh no! I think actually for her, what was going on was she was just using that against me. Like she knew what the argument was about, but she just used that against me. Kind of like a situation where she's just like mad at me because she was in a mode where she was gonna try and fight me, and that didn't work out so well because I don't really fight people, so I would probably just call the police on her and she wouldn't get what she wanted. So I think that's more of what her aim was like basically like she could not get what she wanted, so she was just trying to get at me in a different way, and that was the way she figured she basically messed my job up. It's a long time ago.
All right. Britain out here in Cali, because we don't have any HBCUs, they're not selective. I mean, you know, it may be a little bit weighed on most part, but it's light, dark. Pretty much whatever one you want to join is where you go. On both sides, on the female and the fraternity side. So, you know, Lena was saying that too. But I think that in the South they still like hold the line, and light skin are AKAs and dark skin are deltas and stuff like that. So that's a little weird. But Ty, I know you've been waiting patiently, brother. What's on your mind?
What's good? Y'all hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Yeah, I'm about to park this truck in a minute, so give me like maybe 5 minutes.
All right.
I'll be right with you.
All right. So, provider,
hey, what's up, Game Changer?
Listen, we have similar views. Yeah, we have similar views, and that's why we sit here and discuss things on these panels.
Oh, I'm familiar.
All right, so basically what just celebrated. Everybody should look for a reason to be celebrated. That the fuck is your reason to be celebrated? And see, Vap is a prime example. Her and her 100 nigga army. You know, she walks around with a pussy bragging about the 100 nigga army that she has, and she's not fucking any of them. This is what they want. They don't want you. They just want you in the lineup for a pussy that's ungiven. You know, so you can just walk around protecting their right to be ratchet and shit like that, you know? Go where you're celebrated. You are celebrated amongst your 100 niggas and shit. But what are you doing for them? Not a goddamn thing.
Girls is not light skinned. You go to the Cosby Show. You had 2 light skinned chicks, the rest were dark skinned. You go to Living Single, it was more even. You go to Different World, it was even. Go to shows like Black Lightning, nothing but dark skinned women, right? You don't pay attention to dark skinned women because.
Anyway, I talked throughout this whole thing basically. At different points, I'll look at the video in depth. But my point is saying, actually, yes, this was a video done March 11th, 2020. You guys are talking about a video where I called into Jessica X's live on December 27th, I believe. And I basically talked about, different stuff in that regard. It was more on Shira 7 or something. And that was just because I was asking questions, because I wasn't quite sure really what she was actually talking about. But anyway, the first time I had a conversation with Jessica X was in this live stream. This was a 3-hour conversation. I was on Game Changers channel for 3 hours. Now, this is actually a main reason why I would never go back to Fantastic, Game Changer, or Jessica X's live as myself. You know why? Because I almost got kicked out of Crystal Swirl's live simply for being on this panel. I didn't say anything against anyone. I didn't attack anyone. I've said the same things as I've said on other platforms, as I've said on my platform, especially on colorism. This was an issue on colorism, of which I agreed with these individuals on colorism on some level. The problem is, with these people, they did not know that I, prefer men of other races. At the end, actually, he does talk about basically interest in men, and he doesn't ask what race, so I just go about talking about, my strategy, basically. So, to me, that's basically what I am talking about. This live stream was the first conversation I ever had with Jessica X. 3 hours. There was no argument. As you can tell, there is no argument. throughout this live stream. You can go check it out yourself. The title of it is Crazy Dark-Skinned Black Women Stereotype Rashida Strober's Effect. That's what that video is on, and that's where I am featured on it, speaking on the issues related to Rashida Strober and dark-skinned black women like her, who silence dark-skinned black women like my mother, who don't experience that type of perspective towards their dark skin. But, my point of showing this video is just to let people know that no, that I basically am trying to show that, I specifically talked to Jessica X the second time on her channel, secretively, yes, I admit that, for many reasons, but one majorly because of this live. Because, like I said, just by talking on this live, the divested side really got mad at me. And this was the first live I've ever been on. I was considering actually showing another live, talking on that divested channel as well. But, for now, I'm just gonna leave this video up, so then you guys can see that, this is, just the clips of me speaking and showing how, I basically, I basically I didn't really have any problems in this video. I didn't have any argument. From what I experienced, I agreed with the people on the panel on a lot of different issues on colorism. They didn't seem like they were disparaging people for dark skin. If they were, I would have gone against that. And I kept the message of dark-skinned black women being the epitome of feminine beauty and how they're gorgeous, But because I'm the type that doesn't believe in colorism, and I say that in this video, I just can't find where I said it, but I said it in this video that I don't think colorism exists. That was the only part where Jessica X and I did not really agree, but it didn't turn out into any big argument or anything like that. Like I said, you guys try to make up stuff and try and make me out to be someone I'm not. And, I think a major thing with you guys is this. I am very calm. I'm not really ghetto or ratchet, and I'm not very loud. So it's hard for you to pick apart how I conduct my self, basically, and how I talk about different topics, because I'm not the type that is very cantankerous or acrimonious. So that's all I have to say in this video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe, and have a great day. I'm gonna post more, so stay tuned. Bye.